Welcome back to Quilts from the Cabin. My name is Kim of ExsshawQuilts.com, and in today's episode I'm so excited because this is the Christmas edition and I am going to go over all of my Christmas makes with you. I cannot wait. I've been working so hard to get this ready and done. I just finished decorating last night so I could kind of like share that in this episode because I wanted to make it super special. So yeah, I'll give you kind of a tour of the cabin once I have everything done. I ran out of steam last night. It was really late, so I didn't get quite everything done, but once I do, I'll have everything set up and then I'll give you a tour of the cabin because I think it'll be fun and I just love Christmas. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so this collection is, I have 2 patterns already posted on the website. I have more coming, so don't worry. And I'm not 100%, maybe you can help me decide, but I'm not 100% about the sock pattern yet. I've been trying to get it to print correctly, and for some reason I just cannot get the pattern to print correctly, so I have to kind of like tweak that a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so let's start. So this is my first pattern. This is called, actually what I should do is like speak about like where the inspiration came from this collection. So I don't know, I'm a big Dolly Parton fan. I love her so much, and Hard Candy Christmas is one of my absolute favorite songs ever. And if you remember, like from the 80s, she was in, oh my goodness, it slipped my mind, the Christmas show that she was in. I've been trying to actually find it so I could stream it again, but it was made in the 80s. Maybe it was Hard Candy Christmas, maybe that's what it was called, but the song is called Hard Candy Christmas. And I love the vibe of it, you know, like the 80s and 90s Christmas with the traditional colors and like handmade decorations. Oh, it's so special. There's something super warm and comforting about that when I think about it. But anyway, so that's what this collection is inspired by, are like that, you know, like the hard candy that you get at Christmas that's like red and white and it like has that little twirl in it, I guess. Anyway, so that's kind of the inspiration for this collection, and I really wanted to go with that red and white, so that is what I've done. So the red is actually a feature color in the new collection that's coming out in 2026, and I cannot wait to share about that. But anyway, it's just a feature color, so I knew that I would have leftover fabric from that collection, so that's what I used in the Christmas collection, and it's kind of a perfect red, really. So this red is like this, it's called Scarlet by Northcott Colorworks, and I love the tone of it. I know it's a little bit deeper in real life than it is coming up in camera, but it's really lovely. So that is what I used, and just like a white. So this is Snow from Northcott, the Colorworks collection as well, and I just paired those two together for this collection. So anyway, this is called the poinsettia potholders. Aren't they cute? It's actually a pinwheel, but for some reason it looks like a poinsettia to me, like the leaves of a poinsettia when you're looking from the top. I love those, everything Christmas. But anyway, so that was the inspiration, with a poinsettia for the pot holder. So I've made 3 of them. So in the pattern I have directions. Oh, by the way, I include all of the diagrams. I'm a visual person. I find that is really helpful. So I include all of the diagrams and the steps on how to make the HSTs and trimming them up and all of that jazz. But I include the diagram so you can see the block come together. So I include that in all of the patterns that I do because I like having that visual. Like you can just look at it and do it, right? You don't have to read these directions. But anyway, so yeah. So I think that this is like very beginner friendly and just a lot of fun. So in the pattern, I include directions for making one pot holder or making all 3, and I include the yardage for both. So you can do one or all 3, and I think that these would make just a really beautiful gift. Like I could see, you know, like you could make one and like put them in stocking stuffers, or you can make all 3 and just gift it all together and tie a little bow on it or something. I think that would be like so sweet and such a lovely gift. I value like handmade gifts so much more than when somebody purchases something. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate everything that I get, but something homemade, like something that somebody has made for me, just has so much more meaning, and I think that it's extra special. So yeah, so I think that these would be just a really beautiful gift under the tree for someone. Aren't they pretty? Oh my goodness, I just love this so much. And I actually, with these ones, I just quilted like in the ditch, and I used my machine to quilt. I didn't hand quilt these, I know, but I was kind of in a time crunch. So I machine quilted these. Oh, by the way, oh my goodness, so I dropped my sewing machine. My Juki, by the way, those machines are really heavy. They're semi-industrial, but I dropped it and I broke the tension knob. So I've had to special order that from the States. I'm in Canada, by the way. Hi, northern rural BC. Anyway, so I had to special order that in, and it's still in the mail. So I used my backup machine. It's another semi-industrial that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. Awesome machine. I love that. It's like a Brother. This one is a Brother 1300, I think. So it is like, the newer version is a Brother 1600. I believe it's a 1300 or a 1500, 1600p, I believe. But anyway, that machine and the Juki are amazing. I should have like a podcast, or maybe just like an episode just about machines. But anyway, I love those two machines. So I started using my backup machine. And the same thing, I didn't drop this one, but it is a very old machine. It's probably from the 70s, maybe 80s, and it is a workhorse. I love that machine, but it has been wearing out. That's why I ended up upgrading to the Juki, because it was wearing out. So same thing, same part has worn out on that one, so I couldn't use it, and the bobbin winder broke, and so I'm down to like my Brother, which is amazing machine, by the way. It's a Brother CS7000X. It's really great. I actually use that machine for my applique, which I forgot to show you in my last episode, so I will remember to do it in this episode, at the end of the episode, after we're done all the holiday fun stuff. So anyway, yeah, so it's been a real real couple weeks, I guess. Anyway, so I actually invested in a new Juki. So my old Juki can be my backup, and my new Juki can be my everyday, all day, because I sew a lot. So I definitely need a machine that I can, rely on, and I don't want to like wear out my Brother, because I'm pretty hard on machines. Like, I use them a lot. So anyway, that was a total side conversation. But yeah, so this pattern is available in the shop right now, and I have one other pattern that's available in the shop right now. I'm just waiting for some light, which actually the sun came out as I started filming the podcast, which is amazing, because I've been so stressed about not having enough light in here, because it gets quite dark in the cabin, especially in the wintertime. And the weather has not been great, but all of a sudden the light came out. So it's meant to be, right? So anyway, but this pattern is available in the shop, and it has 2 options in it for making 1 or 3, so you can choose. But I love these. I'm obsessed with them. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you, actually I'll show you the tree ornaments. I've made 3 different designs, and you could totally use scraps for these as well, but I just think that they're so cute. So I've got, like the little poinsettia one that'll match the potholders, and then like a sawtooth design. So these are the 2 that I love the most. And then I've also included a little bow tie block. So that's a lot of fun. So these were a ton of fun to make, and I used baler twine for the hooks, and then I just hand stitched them closed. But these were a ton of fun to make, and I forgot I took it upstairs, but to stuff them, I will get a cheap pillow from Walmart. I think they're like $4 or $5 or something like that, And I just use the stuffing out of those pillows to stuff my decorations, and it works so good, and it saves a lot of money because you're not buying actual stuffing. And the stuffing works perfect, especially for like decorations. So yeah, so this is another design or another pattern that will be available in the shop soon. I just have to take some pictures. So yeah, so these are a lot of fun. I think they would make really cute gifts too, but you could get creative and make all kinds of different colors. Use your scraps, like go stash diving, and yeah, they're a lot of fun to make. So yeah, so those are the decorations. And then I have the table runner. This is my favorite. Oh my goodness. So this was my favorite make. Hopefully you can see what I'm showing you. I don't know what I'm but yeah, so I did kind of like a candy swirl, a little peppermint swirl. I forget what this block is called actually right now, but it was a ton of fun to make. So it consists of 3 blocks, I think, and then I put a border on it, and then the binding. But yeah, so that is the other one. I think this is gonna look really pretty on the cabin table. At Christmas time, I was gonna make kind of like all of our appetizers and put it on the table and have this as the backdrop. And I did hand quilt this one. So yeah, it was one of those, like, actually the other table runner too was a lot of fun. I really enjoy making table runners. They're just really easy and enjoyable and a lot of fun to quilt, like hand quilt, because you don't have like this massive like quilt that you're quilting, which actually I do like quilting big quilts, hand quilting big quilts, but it was easy to maneuver and it was quick to do and just really enjoyable. I listen to my podcast when I'm hand quilting and it is the best time. I love it. I look forward to that. Every time I finish a project, I get really excited because I'm like, I get to hand quilt now. And you just enjoy that time just to I don't know, relax, let go, and just stitch. It's like great. So this is another pattern. And again, this is all using that scarlet and snow colors from Colorworks. So this is the other make that I have. This is a placemat. And I did like a sawtooth with I think it's like a candy swirl in the middle there. I just love how this turned out. And it looks super cute with your plate because your plate just sits right here. And then these little like, it looks like a star. Your plate looks like it's sitting on a star, which is really neat. So I really loved making this as well. So in the pattern, I include options for making one placemat or 4, and I include yardage for both options. So yeah, and directions. So cutting charts, all of that is in the pattern. But this one I hand quilted as well. So I did red for the pearl cotton, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun to hand quilt this collection, I'll tell you. Okay, so the last make that I have it's not done yet, and the reason it's not done is like I'm having a bit of a hard time transferring the pattern from my Procreate into Canva, which Canva is like a program that I use to write my patterns, and for some reason I can't get the sizing correct, and I haven't had that problem yet because I've done all of my applique, which can be quite big, and I'll show you that in a minute as well. And the applique shapes I'm not having a problem with at all, but for some reason the stocking is just not working, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But this is the same block that I used in the table runner for the stocking, and I just thought it just reminds me of like you know, like that candy ribbon like that hard candy ribbon. I don't know if you remember that, but it would swirl, you know, like we ate it in the 80s a lot. Like my mom would get it every year and we would have that on the buffet and stuff. And it just reminds me of that ribbon candy, that hard candy ribbon. And so, so that's kind of what it's based on. But this took a long time to piece. There are almost 100 blocks here, which is crazy. So this will make one sock. So the idea is to make a small quilt. Actually, this is how I do my quilt coats too. I will make a quilt essentially, and then what you do is you just cut your pieces out from the quilt, and you don't bind it or anything. So that is kind of the idea that I'm using in order to make the stocking. So essentially you're making a quilt, but this one doesn't have backing. That's just batting, because you're going to put a liner inside of the stocking. So you would just cut your shapes out on the quilt, and then and it's already quilted. Like I've quilted this. I don't know if you can tell there, but I have quilted it. It's all ready to go. I just have to cut out the shapes, but right now I'm getting kind of hung up on how to print my shapes out, and I want to make sure like that it is perfect before I add it as a pattern in the collection. So, oh, before I forget, this I have been working on. I haven't got it edited yet, but I did film a tutorial on how to make the placemat, which essentially is how to quilt. But it's like a mini, like a short little tutorial, a mini workshop essentially on how to quilt. But if you're interested, like I say in the tutorial, if you feel that I'm missing a step or I'm going too fast or whatever, then definitely go check out the workshop. And during the Black Friday sale, which is on, I forgot about to tell you that too, but I'm having a Black Friday sale, and especially if you are on my email list, I give all of the codes in there. But if you miss the codes, just email me and I will send them to you. Or you can go to my Etsy shop. Like I have an Etsy shop at Exshaw Quilts as well, same name. And the sale is automatic there, so you don't need a code or anything because I can't email on Etsy. But anyway, that tutorial, as soon as it's edited, I will post it. And if you are kind of struggling with something, you can go and watch that. And but yeah, like I said, the quilt workshop goes through everything. It's got hours of content in there and goes over everything, and you have lifetime access to it, so you can go back and rewatch and learn. And I include options for hand piecing, machine piecing, hand quilting, and machine quilting in the workshop. So but yeah, so definitely go check that out. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know, I think it would make a really beautiful like stocking, but for some reason I'm having a hard time getting it printed. So I'm gonna test it a few more times, see if I can get my proportions correct, and then hopefully there'll be another pattern. But those are the patterns a part of the collection so far, and I'm really excited about them. I think they turned out really nice. Like I said, there was a couple that, like the oven mitts, no. I'm just like, that didn't turn out so hot. And the other socks that like I said, like the template to cut the sock out is just not, it's not computing right now. So I have to kind of play with it a little bit more, and I hope that I can get it, because this took such a long time. So I would love to make it into a pattern. And you know, like you could have an option of like making all of the HSTs that go into the pattern, or just making a whole quilt and then no piecing, and just cut the stocking from that as well. So yeah. Okay, so I bought some, I'm gonna move on to the applique that I forgot to show you in last episode. I talked about it, but then I forgot to show you. So we'll move on to that. I did get all of my fabric finally, and I am super excited to show you all that I have planned for 2026. I have a beautiful palette that I'm really excited about. This was actually, this color palette slash design is inspired by Ralph Lauren's cabin. Like, it's really rustic. I love his cabin, and like the style of the cabin and the different like antique old chairs and things that he has in some of the pictures that I saw anyway. And so that collection and those colors are kind of inspired by his a rustic cabin. So yeah, I'm really excited to post those, and it's something that I've had in my heart for a while that I've really wanted to do. So anyway, moving on, we're not going to forget the applique this time. So I don't remember if in my last podcast or if it was the podcast before that, but I had mentioned like wanting to do this quilt that had hold your horses on it in applique, and I have started. So I wanted to show you that. I don't think I've showed you this yet. So I'm just gonna, hopefully I can show you. This is gonna be a throw size, and I'm still in the process of doing it, honestly. I still have like, I have 2 outer borders that I wanna put on it, but oh yeah, you can't really see it. Dang, you know, so it's so big. But yeah, it says like I did the green in applique, and it's just turning out so beautiful. Like, I'm just so excited about this quilt. I think it's gonna look just amazing. Try to show you a little bit more in the cabin. So that it says hold your horses. I probably said that about 6 times. I get a little bit nervous when I'm filming these podcasts, but you guys have been so lovely, just so lovely and supportive, and I really appreciate that. It just makes me so happy and motivated to do more and share more with you. So I really do appreciate the lovely comments and the subscribes and just everything. Like, it's so lovely to be building this community with like-minded souls, and it makes me so excited. Like, I actually get excited to film the podcast now. Before I was like, oh, I don't know. But now I'm getting more excited about filming, and because of your beautiful comments and emails and things like that. So I really do. I take everything to heart, and I read all of the comments, and so I really appreciate that. So thank you. But yeah, so this is the quilt. I think it's just gonna, I know it's kind of like maybe a little cheesy, but I love it. So I'm just gonna do it. But I wanted to make it kind of like a poster. So I'm gonna have hold your horses in the center, and then a white border, which I was waiting for the fabric to finish this, and then a dark brown border, kind of like it's in a frame, right? So you could actually hang it if you want and act like a poster. But I'm gonna use it as like a quilt, like a throw quilt on my couch, and it's turning out to be a little bit bigger than I anticipated, but that's okay. You don't know unless you try. So I am really excited about getting this done, and now that I have a machine that is working again, and I've got my fabric that just showed up, I'll do another podcast just on the fabric, because I think it'll be a lot of fun to go over that with you, and all the colors that I've picked out for this new collection. And actually there's a couple of collections, I'm not gonna lie. I might have gone a little bit overboard, but at least I have it and I don't have to wait for it, because yeah, I ended up having to wait like a super long time. I had planned to do a natural dye workshop this past summer, and I did film it, but the audio quality was terrible, so I have to do it again. So I was waiting for the fabric to come in, and I ordered it way ahead of time, except it didn't come until October. So that really sucked. But now that I have it, I can refilm it. But then I found some software that I'm hoping will clear up the audio in the stuff that I had already filmed. So fingers crossed that works. I'm working on it and to see if I can clean up the audio. So I don't want to, you know, obviously I don't want to offer a workshop where it's hard to hear. That would be terrible. So yeah, so I'm kind of excited about doing that, but that is like, yeah, I want to work on this like new collection first because I'm so excited about it. Okay, so these are the other applique. Oh, I forgot the pillow. I have an applique pillow pattern on my website already, but these are actually makes where I didn't forget, but I kind of like put them in the background of like finishing the pattern writing process of these. But I have been asked about them because there's people that would like to make them. So I was like, okay, I gotta sit down and finish writing these. I know I keep on fidgeting, but this has got, I knit this actually, and it's got a little bit of mohair in it, and it's a little bit tickly today. So I'm sorry if I'm fidgeting. So anyway, but this is a wall hanging that I did with some hand-dyed fabric. So this is my indigo, and this is all indigo. Actually, all of it is indigo, except that I modified, when I dyed the indigo, I modified this fabric in order to get this beautiful green. Isn't that pretty? So that is made actually with indigo. Isn't that neat? So you can modify your natural dye, or the indigo, well, you can modify all natural dye, but I modified it in order to get this beautiful green. So yeah, this is all hand dyed. So this is like a dark indigo, and then this is like kind of like an exhausted vat. I love dyeing until I get different shades of indigo. So that's what I did here. And then with this one, I got dye, I exhausted the vat to get this color, and then I modified in order to get this beautiful green. It's kind of like a sagey green, and it just pairs really well with the different shades of indigo. So I was asked, because there is a tutorial on my channel for how to do raw edge applique, which is my favorite applique technique. And I was asked about this pattern. I think this was a tutorial for basting, I think. I can't remember right now. But anyway, I haven't posted the pattern yet, but I was asked about it. So yeah, I will finish the pattern and I will post it. So yeah, these are a lot of fun to make. At first I was kind of like not an applique fan. I know. And then I started looking at like Scandinavian. That's like, my grandparents are Scandinavian. They're actually from Norway. And anyway, so I was looking at old like Scandinavian like art and stuff, and I was like, oh, I love folk art. So that's kind of what this is. I forget what this tulip is. It's a tulip, but I forget what the official name of it, but I'll have to look that up. But yeah, this will be a pattern coming to the shop soon. I just need a minute to kind of like sit down and do that. I want to finish up my the photos for my Christmas collection before I go ahead and start working on the applique stuff. So, but yeah, I have one other pattern in the shop that is a pillow cover, and it's really beautiful too. But yeah, so this one is coming to the shop. And then I did this over the summer, and I completely forgot about this until somebody asked about it. But I did some handkerchiefs. So this is, I love these. They're just so pretty. This is an applique, and again, this is all hand dyed. The green and this beautiful pink, that was actually modified as well. So, but yeah, so this is a kerchief that you would tie around your neck. My hair is in the way, so I can't really tie it, but, and wear, yeah. So these were a lot of fun to make and really easy. Like I have the tutorial for them, and yeah, it's just, I just found them really, really pretty. So I did two actually. The brown one is my favorite, but I also did like an off-white version, and I don't like it as much. I like the brown one more, I guess, just because the color that I used, I think is called, I can't remember if it's Northcott or Kona, but it's called Vellum, I think. And it's just, it's the wrong white, I guess. It's just like a kind of a cool, it almost looks dirty. So I don't really like it. I don't really like this one. Like in real life, like on camera, it looks creamy, but in real life it's kind of like this dingy white, and I don't like it with these colors as much, but I do love the brown. So these were really easy to make and a lot of fun. I really enjoyed making these. Way more than I thought I would. So this is another pattern that I will have in the shop as well. So, but because this was a tester, I prototyped it kind of to get used to like how to do the applique with my other machine, because this is when I just had bought my brother, so I was kind of getting used to the settings and stuff. But I noticed that I had used a fusible web that was a little too stiff for, oh, I have chickens out front, for the handkerchief. So what I would use if you're making this is to use the I think it's the light fusible web. I can't remember, ultralight maybe. I have it in the pattern, like I've already wrote the pattern and stuff, but I had to add the photos. But anyway, yeah, I would use the lightest fusible web for something that you would, you know, like wear, because I think it was just a regular weight fusible web. It's heat and bond. I can't remember which one I used, but it wasn't the ultralight, and I do find it to be a little bit stiffer than what I would want in a handkerchief. But I mean, I haven't washed these yet either, so that could be another reason for them being a little bit stiffer. But yeah, I would still use like a super light fusible web for them. But yeah, they turned out really nice. I'm really excited about these. So that'll be coming to the shop as well as a pattern. So yeah, so that is really all I have for this episode. I think I'm looking around, making sure that I included everything, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Remember to subscribe to the channel. It really does help me. I appreciate it. Comment, like, share, all those things. And you can go over to my website and take a look at all the patterns as well at exshawquilts.com. Thank you again for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.